Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Tech Medic. Thank you for joining me today. Today's game is going to be Project Mist. Now this is a strange little game, but it's a post-apocalyptic open world survival game. And of course, I've just been playing a lot of these things lately. But, whoa. Aww. Was it dead? Okay, so Project Mist is a psychological open-world survival horror sandbox that just launched into early access today, May 19th on Steam for $22. I was totally unaware of this one, but the premise is straightforward that you are dropped into a massive hostile world told to survive by any means necessary and forced to assist an individual over the radio to keep the rolling fortress moving down the tracks. If the gameplay looks like a total mashup, that's because it is. It's basically a game made by gamers. They basically took their personal Steam wish list and smashed them together. So you're going to be getting hints of abiotic factor, Half-Life, as well as Metro Exodus, and of course Stalker, in which there are artifacts in this game. There is crafting, and of course you get to build your base on the back of a train. So that's all encompassed inside of this game. Atmospherically, it carries oppressive dread of Stalker, the industrial gravity, gadgets, and progression, and straightforward, out-of-the-box thinking of abiotic factor, like there's going to be certain areas where you're going to have to use specific grenades in order to go ahead and either douse out a fire with a water grenade, or you're going to have to blow up certain walls. You're also going to have to use your axe to see what kind of objects are breakable in the world, to gain you access to secrets and loot. And of course, all of this is done so that you can produce progression. Progression: with every enemy that is killed, you'll be awarded some points. These points can be used to upgrade your character's main statistics. Now this is something that is really cool. I really enjoy this part of the game because it really does show that we can increase our person beyond just the physical equipment that we are wearing. You're probably asking yourself, is there any jank? Of course there's jank. There's absolutely always some jank with an early access title. But, of course, give them some credit where credit is due. They're going to be refining a lot of these things, and of course recalibrations are always in the pipeline when an early access title launches. So some of the jank that's out there is, of course, the item hitboxes are a little crazy, especially when trying to capture some of the bugs so that you can use them in alchemical recipes. And of course, there's a lot of inventory bloat. There's a lot of enemy projectile speed calibrations. I feel like the enemies in this game are not as threatening as they should be and should close the distance sooner rather than later. There's a lot of latency and leniency between those discrepancies for how the enemies engage you. So, taking a look at that, beneath the rough exterior is a genuinely solid, deeply satisfying survival loop. Once you figure out the deep alchemy mechanics, because alchemy is hugely important in this game, you can mix bugs, plants, even produced goods like MREs or stims into your cookpot to create different lasting effects. Not only that, there is an artifact system where artifacts do replicate, meaning that there are going to be stronger variants of them down in the future. You can expect to find stronger variants of the versions you like, whether it be creating increased stamina, increased weapon damage, increased movement speed, whatever it may be. There's definitely going to be stronger artifact systems, and all of these systems will be refined in the coming future. So, there's a lot of different recipes in the game that can be strengthened as well through alchemy, and of course a lot of hidden things around the world that you have to keep your eyes peeled for. Okay everybody, this brings us to the topic of combat. How is it? Right now it is very rudimentary. It is serviceable, and it is definitely a work in progress. Remember that this is an early access game. And remember what I said about projectiles. Projectiles do take time from shooting to landing, and of course there's a definite delay, there's a definite drop that needs to be calibrated, and of course enemies like this boss will engage you faster than you can actually run away. But with that, there's a lot of enjoyment, especially this boss fight that I was able to go ahead and take him out. I highly recommend during this boss fight that you go ahead and bring lots of ammunition, lots of shields, and of course bandages, as you are going to need them. This boss also gives you a very good sense of what the battle direction is going to be in the game. So you have your outdoor enemies, and of course we have dungeon bosses. So this is a really good thing, and of course I like the room, I like the ambiance of the game. It really does remind me of a little bit of StarCraft X, in which you have to fight the Chimera, and that was a terror. But I really enjoyed this game. For $22, I think it's a good price, but for you, I would definitely check it out, because like many of the other people, I picked up Subnautica 2, but I was like, you know what, this really isn't my cup of tea. It feels like, you know, something is really missing in the open world survival crafting game, and that's the satisfaction of actually having a good responsive weapon. The weapons are serviceable, like I said. There are statistics that you can go ahead and improve on crafting weapons, weapon ammo types, and of course different armors to accompany that, as well as the progression that allows you to open up your character even more. So I'm gonna let the rest of this play out, and we'll see you back at the conclusion later on. Alright guys, that was a pretty tough battle. That guy was a bullet sponge, but here's my little train base so far. Let's go ahead and save this. We got a shotgun, we got a pistol, we've got a crossbow here. Let's go ahead and insert that piece, and let's go ahead and unlock the gate and get the show on the road. See what happens next. I think this game is a pretty good mashup of a lot of different existing titles.
Well, look at you, you got it moving.
But I really enjoyed this game. I hope you guys check it out. It is on Steam for $22 at the moment, and of course it's survival crafting open world with a little bit of Metro Exodus with this train going on over here. But really enjoyed it. Check it out, and we'll see you all in the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.